Picture this, a simple kitchen staple, something you might use to dress a salad or clean a countertop, could soon be repurposed as a frontline defense against some of the most dangerous infections on Earth. Vinegar, long known for its tangy bite and household versatility, has just been reimagined in a way that could change the future of medicine. Scientists have found a way to supercharge it using cutting-edge nanotechnology, turning an ancient remedy into a modern marvel capable of destroying drug-resistant bacteria without harming human tissue. And in a world where antibiotics are failing at an alarming rate, this discovery arrives not a moment too soon. For generations, vinegar has been trusted as a natural disinfectant. Historical records show it was used by soldiers to clean wounds and by households to preserve food long before refrigeration existed. But its power has always been limited. While effective against some microbes, it falters when faced with the toughest bacterial offenders, especially those that have evolved resistance to nearly every antibiotic in modern medicine. These so-called superbugs now lurk in hospitals, nursing homes, and even everyday environments, turning minor injuries into life-threatening crises. What if the answer to this growing crisis wasn't found in a high-priced pharmaceutical lab, but in a bottle already sitting in your pantry? The breakthrough hinges on a clever marriage of old and new. Researchers infused vinegar with specially designed nanoparticles made from carbon and cobalt, tiny structures so small they operate at the molecular level. Alone, these particles show antimicrobial promise. Vinegar, on its own, has modest germ-killing ability. But together, they create something extraordinary. The acidity of the vinegar softens bacterial defenses, causing the cells to swell and become more permeable. This allows the nanoparticles to slip inside with ease. Once there, they unleash a devastating dual attack, damaging critical internal components while simultaneously shredding the outer membrane. The result is rapid, catastrophic failure for the bacteria, essentially causing them to burst apart from the inside out. What makes this approach so revolutionary is not just how well it works, but how safely it works. In tests on living tissue, the nano-enhanced vinegar cleared stubborn infections without slowing the natural healing process or causing harm to surrounding cells. This is a critical distinction. Many powerful antimicrobial agents are too harsh for direct use on open wounds. They can burn skin, delay recovery, or trigger inflammation. But this new formulation appears to strike a rare balance, fiercely aggressive toward invaders, yet gentle on the body it's meant to protect. This matters deeply for people living with chronic conditions. For someone with diabetes, a small foot ulcer can spiral into a severe infection that resists treatment and leads to amputation. For elderly patients or those with weakened immune systems, even a minor surgical site infection can become deadly. These vulnerable groups often suffer from wounds that refuse to heal because bacteria form dense, slimy fortresses called biofilms. These biofilms act like microbial bunkers, shielding bacteria from antibiotics and the immune system alike. Early evidence suggests the nanovinegar can penetrate these barriers, dismantling the biofilm and exposing the hidden bacteria to destruction. If this holds true in broader testing, it could transform wound care for millions. The science behind the nanoparticles is both elegant and precise. They belong to a class known as carbon quantum dots, ultra-small, light-responsive particles with unique chemical properties. By embedding cobalt into their structure, scientists gave them catalytic abilities that activate specifically in acidic environments. Vinegar provides that acidity, essentially turning the entire solution into a smart, self-targeting system. It remains relatively inert until it encounters the slightly acidic conditions often found around infected tissue. Then it springs into action exactly where it is needed most. This targeted behavior minimizes unnecessary exposure and maximizes efficiency, a hallmark of next-generation medical design. Equally important is the apparent lack of toxicity to human cells. Laboratory studies show that even at high concentrations, the treatment does not damage skin cells, immune cells, or other vital tissues. This selectivity stems from a fundamental biological difference. Bacterial cells have simpler, more fragile membranes and fewer defenses against oxidative stress than human cells. The nanoparticles exploit this vulnerability without triggering the same destructive response in our own biology. It is this built-in discrimination that makes the therapy both potent and safe, a combination that has eluded many experimental drugs. Beyond its immediate medical potential, this discovery points to a larger shift in how we think about fighting infection. Instead of always chasing new synthetic antibiotics, which bacteria inevitably outsmart, what if we enhanced nature's own tools with modern science? Vinegar is just the beginning. Other time-tested natural substances, like honey, garlic extracts, or certain plant oils, might also be revitalized through nanotechnology. This approach could lead to a new generation of hybrid treatments that are not only effective but also more sustainable, affordable, and less likely to drive resistance. And affordability matters. Antibiotic resistance is not just a medical crisis, it is a global equity issue. In many parts of the world, access to advanced antibiotics is limited by cost, infrastructure, or supply chains. A treatment based on vinegar and scalable nanomaterials could be produced locally, stored without refrigeration, and applied without complex training. This opens the door to real-world impact in rural clinics, refugee camps, or disaster zones where conventional medicine often cannot reach. Of course, excitement must be tempered with caution. Laboratory success does not always translate to human patients. Rigorous clinical trials are still needed to confirm safety and effectiveness in people. Regulatory approvals, manufacturing standards, and long-term stability studies all lie ahead. But the path forward may be smoother than usual. Because vinegar is already classified as safe for human use by health agencies worldwide, the regulatory hurdles could be lower than for entirely new chemical entities. That could accelerate the timeline from discovery to real-world application. In a broader sense, this innovation reminds us that solutions to modern problems do not always require reinventing the wheel. Sometimes, the answer lies in looking back, with fresh eyes, and combining wisdom from the past with tools from the future. Vinegar has been trusted for millennia. Now, armed with the precision of nanotechnology, it may be ready to take on one of the greatest health challenges of our time. As antibiotic resistance continues to erode our medical defenses, the search for alternatives has never been more urgent. This reimagined vinegar offers more than just a new treatment, it offers a new way of thinking. It proves that powerful medicine can emerge from humble origins, that simplicity and sophistication can coexist, and that sometimes, the most revolutionary ideas are hiding in plain sight. The next time you reach for that bottle in your kitchen, remember, it might just be more than a condiment. It could be a lifeline. If this story surprised you, imagine what else is brewing in the world of science. From kitchen staples turned superweapons to breakthroughs hiding in plain sight, the future of medicine might be closer than we think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next big discovery. Stay curious, and maybe give your vinegar bottle a second look.